Howdy, howdy, from the cold state of Georgia. It was 26 degrees when we got up this morning. So, I made a trip. Came to Georgia, see a friend of mine, another YouTuber. We're putting his LQ4 engine into his truck that has a blown head gasket. As you can see, we've already gotten started. And he had to go to run some errands. So, figured I'd catch up with my video. This is kind of the intro. Motor swap. Road trip. If you haven't checked out Dannyscam, definitely do so now. Go ahead and check out Dannyscam on YouTube. Leave him some encouraging words. Tell him to make some more videos. And check out some of his old videos. He's got some really good videos on there. Really cool little projects and stuff he does. As you see, we've already got started. I'm getting ready to start working on pulling the intake, and I'm gonna jump under and do stuff underneath, exhaust, bell housing bolts, torque converter bolts, that sort of thing. Then we can pull this thing out of here, put it on the ground, throw the new one in. So without further ado, let's get after it. Hey everybody, here's current situation. So I have the intake completely off, wiring harness stuff, wiring stuff undone. Air compressor is unbolted 3/4 of the way. Explain more on that later. I have both the collectors at the exhaust unbolted. Matter of fact, let's go in there and take a look. Okay, so I have the starter out. Have both of the collectors unbolted. Oh, by the way, Danny, he is missing a nut on the driver's side collector. Let's remember that when we put it back together. Next step I'm gonna be doing will be to start pulling the 3 torque converter bolts there. I'll pull that one. I'll take a screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, and I'll just kind of manipulate the flywheel around till I get the next one. And I'll pull the next one out. See, there's that one. Next one you can see just up in there. And then I'll stick my screwdriver in there and I'll rotate the engine around with the screwdriver again until I get to the next one. And that's how I get mine out. I do have one of those crank pulley tools, but I'm down here, not up there at the crank. So yeah, it will not be much longer here and we'll be pulling this engine out. Because once I pull these 3 torque converter bolts, we'll pull the bell housing bolts, do something about supporting the transmission and all, and let's see here, I think oh yeah, crank position sensor. There's a couple of things I need to get from the bottom, and oh yeah, the power steering. But once we get all that, we'll be done. So I'll get back at you in a minute. What up, folks? Day 2 out here on this engine swap deal. Got cold last night, had some bolts get stubborn, so we kind of just said forget it. We went, Daniel threw down on the grill. Came out here this morning. It was low 20s when we woke up this morning, so came out kind of late. I'm out here by myself today. Got a good bit done. Let's see, can I switch this thing around? I don't think I can. Anyway, so let's see what we can do the best we can here. Got all the ancillary stuff disconnected. AC compressors off to the side. Both motor mounts are disconnected. I'm gonna save disconnecting the power steering pump until right before we pull the motor. And same for these oil cooler lines. The only thing I really like to get this motor out is 1 torque converter bolt and the bell housing bolts, and then the motor's ready to pull. And I just wanted to take a minute. I'm already minute 16 in. Just wanted to take a minute to kind of show how I'll do the torque converter bolts. Let's crawl up under here. So hopefully you guys can see this, because I always confuse where the camera is on this other side. I'll make everybody dizzy. Hang on a second. I just decided to start another clip to show how this is done. Anyway, I know you can't see in there very well, but what I'm going to do here, I'm going to get in there with this pry bar, and I'm going to just roll the motor around until my next bolt comes down. And yeah, it takes a little while, especially when you're doing it like this with one hand and holding the camera, but it's very effective. And you don't have to reach above your head up there to get the crank pulley. And in this case, I really can't reach the crank pulley from where I'm at to use my pulley tool, and my pulley tool is not really cooperating, so this just is working better. But anyway, just thought I'd share this little tidbit. This is how I was actually taught to roll the motor around for torque converter bolts. And I know a lot of folks don't do it this way, or maybe don't know this way, so I figured I'd share it. But I'm about to drop this camera so that I can get to it. That torque converter bolt's damn near there. I'll just keep doing that until that bolt rolls around here where I can get to it. All right, well, we're to a point now to where we're going to lift the engine. We think we have everything disconnected. The engine hoist will tell us in time. And we get to feature our special guest finally. Say hey, Daniel.
Hey!
I'm sure you guys know Dannyscam from YouTube. If you don't, go check out Dannyscam. And
I'm the bloated corpse of Dannyscam. A lot's happened in the last 3 years.
hey, give them some encouragement. Tell them to make some more videos. Man, we've been having some fun doing this engine removal.
Holla for $1.
Hey, 20 bucks is 20 bucks, right? Oh man, but we have. I came down here from North Carolina, and we started pulling this engine yesterday. We haven't exactly been speed demons about it, but it's ready to come out now, and we have had a really good time doing it.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we've had an awesome time. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and hook this up and see where we go from there. What's going on, guys? So next morning, early the next morning. Till how early? Pretty early the next morning. Daniel and I pulled the old engine last night. And this morning, working on getting the new engine ready. It's just about ready to go in. I just gotta pull this broken line. And I think that's about it. Get it ready to go back in. I'm gonna put a oil pan gasket on it, remain sealed, new motor mounts, and I believe that's it. So yeah, I'm gonna jump back on that and hopefully have an update coming along soon. Running out of time, I'm gonna have to take off and go back to North Carolina. So just get as much done as we can. We try to get the engine set back down in the bay for Daniel and get it hooked up as much as possible. And he said he'll be okay with finishing the hookup, you know, doing all the plugs and all that kind of stuff for the wiring harness. So we're gonna get knocked out today. I'll get back with you and see what we can get done. What's up, everybody? Still cracking at it. At this point right here, I am getting ready to gasket, reseal the rear main seal cover. I need to clean that, by the way. There's a gasket, there's a cover gasket, there's a pan gasket. Slap that on there. I will have to remove the old, where are we at? There we go. Remove the old bent up dipstick tube. I'll probably leave these block off plugs here for the time being until we get it in there, just to keep from making any more of a mess. And that's progress report for right now. It's coming along. It's coming along a little slower than normal, but it's coming along. Daniel went and got us a leveler for the hoist, so we ain't got to fight with it the way we did getting the motor out. We'd never get it in. Well, I say never. We'd have a hard time fighting to get it in the way we had our chain rig when we took it out. So, yeah, right now I'm just waiting on the gasket maker to dry. Yes, I know. Okay, keep comments to yourself about the gasket maker on the... But anyway. All right, well, let's, I'll be back at you the progress report in a minute. I got a halo. Oh, got it backwards. All right, howdy everybody. We're getting ready to stab the motor back in the pickup truck. We've replaced the gaskets on the oil pan, the rear main housing. We put a rear main seal in it. We had to, we had to swap out the the flex plate. We had to swap out the flex plate and a spacer because Daniel's truck originally had a spacer, and it's got a 6-bolt flywheel or 6-bolt torque converter, and the other one was
concave.
Yeah, it was the flywheel or flex plate looked different, and that only had 3 bolts, didn't it? Yeah. New motor mount to correct the problem we had. Like I said, we've resealed the bottom end altogether. We do have exhaust manifold gaskets. We're ready to rock and roll. We're ready to party. How you feel, Daniel?
Optimistic.
I'm optimistic too.
As long as it doesn't drop on me.
Hey, safety is number one today.
Show the floor.
So me and Daniel was talking about this on his video, and we don't have concrete here. We have crushed concrete floor, like crush and run. We got some plywood or OSB, and we got dreams and prayers.
This is the first engine swap in this shop.
Yes, Daniel just has been working on his shop. Getting together is a nice place to work. I can tell you that. It's kept us out of the rain, kept us out of the cold. And well, I mean, it beats what I have at home, brother. So I mean, I like it. I like this. I would love to have something like this in my backyard.
It's a glorified carport.
Hey, it's all right. I actually like the slat walls. I love that.
That was easy. That's just scrap wood.
Well, when you know a guy with a sawmill.
Don't show any of the electrical right now because I don't want to get trolled by electricians.
Are they as bad as welders?
They're a little more. No, I can't say that.
I don't know. I think. Oh, you think? I thought welders are the biggest prima donnas out there.
Very particular.
All right, if any of you Sparkies are watching out there, don't get offended. Any welders out there, we don't care if y'all are offended or not.
Fuck y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't care about those picky welders out there who want to cry and complain about everything.
Well, welders are some failed machinists.
Prima donnas, man, just prima donnas, those whiny little girls. Like those technicians who got to have concrete and lifts and rubber gloves and gojo. We don't do that here. We don't do
protection. It's probably why I got a kid and you
I got 4 kids, yeah. Yeah, man. So we're ready to party. We're ready to rock and roll. We're gonna drop that into there, and hopefully it fires up and comes to life without any problems and issues. And yeah, I've got faith.
Hey, as long as the guy I got the engine from is honest, this will be a good day. That's what I say.
I agree.
Because, I mean, we've done our homework. We've done our gaskets, replaceable stuff. I mean, we're in a good position, so.
Yes, we took our time and did everything right, so.
We haven't broken anything. Really.
No, we really haven't broken anything. That's pretty awesome. Connected, and then when we ran into the problem where we had the air compressor with the motor mount that was collapsed and, blocking us from taking the air compressor out, that was a whole ordeal. So, it, bear with us, man. We're backyard mechanics, we're getting it done. But without further ado, let's party, let's rock and roll. Let's bring this one up and sprinkle it into that little area right there. Oh, let's rock and roll. Well, we've got it hanging over the truck. Now we're just trying to get our setup right. Need a little board to throw in this little gap where we at. Need a board to throw in that little gap right there. But we're getting it. All right. We got the engine in the hole. Bell housing bolts are tight. Motor mount bolts are on and tight. Torque converter bolts are on and tight. My next task is to crawl back under her bowels again and hit the starter. Install the starter. We'll hit the AC compressor and reattach that. We don't have long to go, but we still have long to go, if that makes any sense. Steady as she goes. We're still chipping away at it.
10 o'clock at night.
It is. Oh, it might be closer to 11 by now.
We've been on it. We've been on it since like fucking 9.
Yeah.
Don't do drugs. Do LS engine swaps. Or do both.
Have you ever tried to snort an iron block, kids? This is your brain on LS. This is your brain on little sleep and lots of grease. Wild boys. Wild boys. Yeah. It's going pretty good actually. All in all. No real troubles. I mean, other than I always hate installing transmissions and engines separate. Like I like to put them together outside, but we had the whole like it doesn't hardly fit in here issue to deal with. So, but that really wasn't that big a deal. It just took us a while. It might have took us 30 minutes to get that thing lined up or something.
Creative thinking. It took us.
Some engineering. It took us a little bit of engineering. Yes, exactly.
Ingenuity.
Ingenuity. We are engineers.
What is it? There's a word for it. Ingenious.
Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen. We may be a little delirious.
A little.
A little.
Oh, valve cover gaskets.
Yeah, you did get them.
I did?
Yeah, they were on the couch.
I don't remember that.
I asked him if he had the valve cover gaskets yesterday. He's like, no, I didn't get those. I'll do that later. I could do that for a time. Okay, no worries. Oh, all the gaskets are laying over there on the couch. Valve cover gaskets. Cool. Who knew?
No idea.
Hey, man, when you're on a roll, you're on a roll. You know, sometimes you just don't know when you're just, you know, blazing a trail of terror and leaving the wake behind you.
I live to forget.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
There is evidence of that in some places. All right, we'll get back with you when we've made some more progress. The next time we come back, we'll probably have a lot of this stuff buttoned up and maybe even have the intake back on there. We'll see. Who knows? Will we? Won't we? Just have to dial in. What was that? What was that? Stay tuned.
See you next time.
Stay tuned. Don't change that dial. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. All right.
Cool. Don't change that dial.
Yeah. Don't change that dial. Well, there she is. It is almost buttoned up. She's about 88.5% buttoned up. Got the alternator to put back in there. Fan shroud. Intake. A few odds and ends left to go. He decided he's going to go ahead and put new donut gaskets in it, so we left that off. Hate to have to leave, but it's in capable hands. It's the point where Daniel can finish it, and I'm sure I'm going to get a video when it's done. So,
if you say so.
Man, I've had a blast hanging out with this guy right here.
Oh, it's been fun.
There really is. I mean, oops, I ain't in frame. It's been said a lot, but it really is true that there's nothing like hanging out in the garage with some buddies and, you know, working on something, you know, whether it's a motor swap or brake job or whatever like that. It's just fantastic to be able to hang out with some friends and do stuff like this. Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly. Get it done. I mean, it's amazing how much we can knock out in a little time. You know what I mean?
It would probably take me weeks. 4 hands are better than 2.
Exactly. But we've had a great time. I don't know how much of this is even in frame because it's. But we've had a great time, and that's going to wrap this video up. A few more hoses and radiator shroud, a few little odds and ends, and it's going to be buttoned up. And if Daniel send me a clip of it running and stuff, I'll include it in the video too later or something.
New battery installed. Let's try it. Oh, yeah. Now to the exhaust manifolds. I should just run without exhaust manifolds. Seem to run. I ain't seen any oil everywhere. Thermostat hasn't opened yet. Haven't ran long enough to open the thermostat, which I need to wash that and burp the system carefully. Because as soon as that thermostat opens, all the water will go through the engine and that reservoir will be empty. So, she runs. So far, the engine swap's been pretty good. I had a couple of vacuum leaks, but I've tested the engine. My oil gauge does not work. It flickered and didn't work, and then flickered and it came back. I checked my connection. I'm going to go ahead and replace the sensor. Got her up to 70. So far, she's a lot quieter than my old engine. Less rattling and less roaring. The fact that idle, you can barely hear it, which kind of scares me. Let's see what else. Yeah, I had a couple vacuum leaks. I'm going to see if those codes are coming back. I cleared them. I tightened up. I found a tube that wasn't connected on my coming from my valve cover to the intake manifold. And my intake manifold might be bad. I went with a aftermarket one. I should have probably gone with OEM. But for right now, it seems to be doing good, except for the oil pressure, which scares me. I need to get my inner fenders and put them on, and then this will be good, hopefully. And figure out why the oil pressure gauge just stopped working altogether. But so far, it's the first time I've driven her. Done a lot of work to her. I got that sensor, the work on the temp sensor was, I guess the crimped connection was bad, so I fixed that. Fixed a lot of little small shit. Yeah, she doesn't seem to go to 6,000 RPMs, but I don't think it's doing it very quiet, because when my old engine would go up to 4,000 RPMs, sound like it was about to blow apart. So far good, but I need to check the oil pressure. That's bothering me. Need to figure that out. And also, it doesn't seem to get to 210 like my old engine did. It's right at 190, which I'm not complaining. I'm just wondering why. Because of those vacuum leaks, my idle was a little rough. I'm going to do a water bottle test on it later, where you basically squirt around the intake manifold gasket and see if it starts idling real rough. But so far, pretty good.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching, and y'all take it easy. Bye-bye.